I think the biggest thing, like I tell myself, is like, come out here and be me. Like I want to come on and step on this court and don't feel like I have to be anybody else. Don't feel like I have to, you know. I don't think it's any like statistical measurements. I think it's kind of a feel as a basketball player. Like, did you go out there? Did you work hard?
Can you believe what's happening to Caitlin Clark? She's gone from college superstar to pro basketball purgatory. 1 minute she's breaking records, the next she's stuck in a scavenger hunt. What's going on with the Indiana Fever, and why is their star rookie trapped in this mess? You're not gonna believe what just happened at Indiana Fever practice. Have you seen this video that's blowing up online? It's not drills, it's not scrimmages, it's a scavenger hunt. Yeah, you heard that right. Professional WNBA players, including rookie sensation Caitlin Clark, running around like kids at summer camp.
Let's go! I'm made for this. Call me babe. Woo!
Here we go.
You get 3 swings. You get 3 swings. The ball, if it goes over the line.
Picture this, instead of working on their jump shots or perfecting their defensive rotations, these elite athletes are scrambling to find random objects around the practice facility. Can you imagine LeBron or Steph Curry doing this before a crucial playoff game? It's absolutely wild. Now, you might be thinking, what's the big deal? It's just a fun team building exercise. But here's the thing, the Fever are in a tight race for a playoff spot. Every practice minute counts. And what are they doing with that precious time? Playing games that belong at a middle school field day. Fans are furious, and can you blame them? This isn't some rec league, it's the WNBA. These players are professionals and they deserve to be treated like it. One fan on social media put it perfectly. If we're not going to be productive here, can we go to the house? Because you're wasting our time. We're professionals. We're not even in college. Let's break this down for a second. While other teams are fine-tuning their offense and working on late game situations, the Fever are, what? Learning how to work together to find a water bottle hidden behind a trash can? Come on, this is valuable time they could be using to improve their actual basketball skills. And it's not just the fans who are upset. You can see the frustration on the players' faces in the video. They know they should be doing more. They know they're capable of more, but instead they're stuck playing these childish games. Now you might be wondering, who's behind this bizarre practice plan? That would be head coach Christie Sides. And let me tell you, this scavenger hunt fiasco is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to her questionable decisions. But here's where it gets really interesting. This video isn't just embarrassing. It's a sign of much bigger problems within the Fever organization. The scavenger hunt is just one piece of a puzzle that's starting to paint a pretty ugly picture. Think about it, if this is what they're doing in practice, what else is going on behind closed doors? How are they preparing for games? Are they taking their opponents seriously? And most importantly, are they giving Caitlin Clark, their prized rookie and the future of the franchise, the support and development she needs? These are all questions that fans are asking, and rightfully so. The Fever has a generational talent in Clark, and they're wasting her rookie season with playground games instead of professional training. All right, we've seen the bizarre scavenger hunt practice, but that's just scratching the surface. Let's talk about what's happening when the games actually start. Coach Christie Sides is making some seriously questionable calls that are leaving fans and players scratching their heads. You know how a good coach can turn the tide of a game with smart timeouts and player rotations? Well, Sides seems to be doing the exact opposite. She's calling timeouts at the strangest moments, disrupting the team's rhythm when they're on a roll, and don't even get me started on her player rotations. It's like she's throwing darts at a roster board. But here's where things get really wild. Remember that recent game against the Chicago Sky? The Fever were up by 15 points. 15. You'd think they had it in the bag, right? Wrong. Everything fell apart in the final minutes, and a lot of people are pointing fingers at Coach Sides. Picture this. The clock's winding down, the Fever's lead is slipping away, and what does Sides do? She keeps Caitlin Clark, their star player, on the bench for crucial stretches. Can you believe it? The woman who's been lighting up the scoreboard all game is sitting there watching as their lead evaporates. And when Clark was on the court, it got even weirder. In those last 7 minutes, Clark only took one shot. This is a player who can score from anywhere on the court, and she's barely touching the ball in crunch time. What was going through Clark's mind? You could see the frustration written all over her face. After the final buzzer, cameras caught Clark and Sides in what looked like a pretty heated discussion. Now, we can't hear what they're saying saying, but it doesn't take a lip reader to see that Clark was not happy. And can you blame her? Here's the thing, Clark put up incredible numbers in that game. We're talking 17 points and 13 assists. That's the kind of stat line that usually leads to a win, but instead it got wasted in a crushing defeat. You might be wondering, what does Coach Sides have to say about all this?
I think the biggest thing, like I tell myself, is like, come out here and be me. Like I want to come on and step on this court and don't feel like I have to be anybody else. Don't feel like I have to, you know. I think just being aggressive.
Well, she tried to defend her decisions after the game. When asked about Clark's lack of shots in the final minutes, Sides said, "I never want her to not be aggressive and take shots." Okay, coach, but maybe you should have told her that during the game? Now, I'm not saying Clark is blameless here. She made the decision to pass instead of shoot in some key moments, but when your coach isn't putting you in a position to succeed, it's hard to play with confidence. We've seen the bizarre practices and questionable game decisions, but now it's time to talk about the real issue at the heart of the Fever's troubles. There's a serious clash happening between Caitlin Clark and Coach Christie Sides, and it's tearing the team apart. You might be thinking, aren't rookies supposed to listen to their coaches? Well, normally, yes. But this isn't your average rookie-coach relationship. Clark came into the WNBA as a generational talent, ready to dominate from day one. She wants to win, and she knows how to do it. But Sides? It seems like she's got a whole different playbook. Let's break down what Clark's been saying lately. After that brutal loss to the Sky, she talked about teamwork and execution. We need to play together and trust each other, she said. But here's what she's really saying. Coach, your game plan isn't working. Clark's too smart to call out her coach directly, but the message is crystal clear. And now, contrast that with what Sides has been saying. She's been defending her decisions left and right. Remember that scavenger hunt? Sides actually said, it's all about building team chemistry. Really, coach? You think running around looking for hidden objects is going to help you make the playoffs? But here's where it gets even crazier. When asked about Clark's lack of shots in crucial moments, Sides said, I never want her to not be aggressive and take shots. Okay, but if that's true, why is Clark spending so much time on the bench in the fourth quarter? Why isn't she getting the ball when the game is on the line? It's obvious that Clark and Sides have completely different visions for this team. Clark sees herself as the leader, the go-to player who can carry the Fever to victory. But Sides? It's like she's coaching a different sport entirely. You might be wondering, how is this affecting the rest of the team? Well, let me tell you, it's not pretty. Players are starting to take sides. Some are backing Clark, seeing her as the future of the franchise. Others are sticking with Sides, not wanting to rock the boat. But one thing's for sure, this divide is killing their chemistry on the court. In their last few games, you can see the confusion in their play. Players hesitate, unsure if they should follow Clark's instincts or stick to Sides' game plan. It's like watching two different teams trying to play as one, and it's a disaster. And the fans, they're not happy. Social media is blowing up with calls for Sides to be fired. Free Caitlin Clark is trending on Twitter. The pressure is mounting, and something's got to give. But here's the real kicker. The Fever are still in the playoff hunt. Despite all this drama, despite the weird practices and questionable coaching, they're right on the bubble, and that makes this clash even more crucial. Can Clark and Sides put aside their differences for the good of the team, or is this the beginning of the end for the Fever season?